Hello, Open Mic Turnpike production team. Well, if it isn't our camera crew. What happened to you? We got rained on. I can see that. Did you get the intro recorded? Sort of? It's raining. Unfucking believable. How about the Chicago B-roll? Well... yeah. By the way, our talent is kind of pissy right now, so have fun with that. I'm going to dry this off. Oh, this will be fun. Don't even ask. Rained on, huh? Very observant, Bill from editing. Good job. What happened? Well, first it started to rain, and then we got wet. Did you guys get the B-roll of Chicago? No, it's raining. Guys, I need material. Bill from production, any thoughts? Well, Billy, the episode is due and we took a month off last time, so I really don't think we can afford any delays here. Well, then grab a camera and have at it! Guys, I need something. Just go back out and film some B-roll and make a joke about how much Chicago weather sucks. We did that on episode 2! We did? The whole intro of episode 2 is about how much weather in Chicago sucks.
It produces more B-roll ruining fog than New York and LA combined.
Huh. We did. How did we not see this weather coming anyway? Hey, this ain't on me, alright? It's on my assistant, isn't it?
Oh yeah, by the way, you can expect heavy thunderstorms in Chicago today.
Thanks for the warning.
Hey man, I don't get paid enough for this crap in the first place.
How about the creative department? Do they have anything that can spice us up a little bit? Creative department? You mean the guy who hangs out in the bedroom closet and records voiceovers? It says here he was actually working on lyrics for our theme song. Hey, Bill from Creative!
This summer, just when you thought it was okay
Bill!
Guys, what? I'm in the studio.
Do you have the theme song done yet?
Oh, yeah, actually, almost. Hold on a second. Here, tell me what you think. You ready?
Let's hear it.
Here we go. I'm driving down the Open Mic Turnpike again. I'm seeing what there is to learn. One day I want to be a real comedian. Burn.
Oh, guys, we cannot just break formula. I need something. Who's our guest this week? Paige Blair. Paige Blair? That's right. The Paige Blair. That's right, from Chicago, Paige Blair. Well, what are you doing this stupid bit for? Just press play. Let's watch the interview.
This is a trip down the Open Mic Turnpike.
Hello, I'm comedian Paige Blair. I live in Albany Park, Chicago.
In 2018, I graduated Stand-Up 101 and immediately began hitting open mics. And I immediately heard the name Paige Blair. Paige was what all of us open micers were aspiring to be. Somebody with a name. Steadily, she's rising through the ranks of Chicago comedy. And when I heard she was doing a VIP show in a secret theater, I just had to be there. And Paige was kind enough to sit down for a cup of coffee beforehand. Okay.
Oh, Coffee Talk Part 2. Now you actually have your coffee.
I do. Now I got coffee, so we're good to go. Where are we at?
So we are at Surge Billiard and Pool Hall /bar /coffee shop. So this is right down the street from my house on Montrose, and it's like they keep putting these really cool murals up, like the astronaut behind me, and yeah, this place is awesome. You can play pool ladies on Wednesday for free.
Everybody up front was super nice.
Everybody, yeah.
The coffee's fantastic.
It's really good, and their cocktails are really good. The chicken fingers, their ranch, wow.
So you've got a place that's a bar /coffee house /pool hall /mural exhibit.
Yeah.
It takes a city like Chicago to make this happen.
Yeah, it's super cool. And this summer, I remember there was like a fun marching band in the parking lot. Albany Park has got some cool stuff going on. I think this is definitely one of the coolest bars in the neighborhood.
So not to be awkward, but you're a comedian.
Yes.
I'm a comedian.
Yes.
And I've noticed that we're different because you're a.
Yeah.
Well, not that you're.
Yeah.
But you have different. Not
yeah.
different, but.
I have longer hair.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you. Do you get sick of that? Do you get that? You're a woman comedian?
Yeah, a lot of times hosts will bring me up like that. When they do that, I'm the only one on the lineup that's a woman. But it's like, that's kind of my fave because then there's a really easy opening you can do that.
What is it? So if I go, woman comedian Paige Blair.
I'm always like, yeah, it's true. I'm like, I'm the only lady on the lineup. Give it up for that. And then you're like, where are my ladies at? And then I tell this joke about men not knowing how to get women off. And then then they're like, oh, she's in control.
She's in control.
I think a host is well-intentioned when they're just trying to give the audience something to be excited about. And when they say the next lady coming up, she's like a female comic, they're just trying to like give you and the crowd something to go off of. And I don't think it's like them necessarily being like, there's something totally different, But we have different perspectives. That's certain, different life experiences. And it's like, that's what's valuable. Like when I see a lineup of all men, it's like, it's not just that's outdated. It's also just like, that sucks for that audience that they're only going to get. Obviously, the 6 men perspectives are still different,
Yeah.
But it's like half that audience might be women, and it's like there's going to be some level of that they can't relate to and are, so it's like when bookers are, I'm not mad at them for just booking male comics. It's just like consider your audiences a little bit more and the variety of what they might want to hear. You know what I mean?
And that being said, when you write jokes, are you thinking this is going to land with men, this is going to land with women? Because I don't think many male comedians think, I wonder how this is going to go over with the ladies.
Sure.
They don't care because it's
Right.
easy to think your audience is
Sure.
men. Your
Right.
friends are men.
Yeah. When you're just conditioned to expect the whole world to care about what you think. So so they have that going into it.
Nice. Take that, guys.
No, I'll just say that when I'm on a lineup of all men, there's like, it makes me feel a little bit cockier actually, because it's like I'm already gonna stand out to the audience because they're like, oh, I remember her, like she was the only woman.
Right.
Not that there can't be different, there could be like 4 other women that look just like me and we could still be on a show and have completely different jokes, But I have that going when I go into a lineup and I'm like, I'm the only woman. I feel like it's easier to crush in a way.
I feel like there's more personality that you get out of a female comedian.
Yeah.
Is that right, or am I just saying that because I'm a stupid dumb man?
I think what you're speaking to is very true in the sense that women are encouraged to like physically look more like individuals. Like men's fashion is fairly oppressive in terms of like, if they were wearing anything besides a checkered shirt, you would remember them because that's like that one guy that wears a crazy Hawaiian man shirt.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? So women have the benefit of like being able to take bigger risks in our appearance to begin with, which is part of it. Like we're on stage, people are looking at us. So where it's like, it gets tricky because as a woman, you're oftentimes like sexually objectified because of the way you look. It's like in stand-up, you already bring a different thing to it, and it's how you navigate that sexual objectification that is like, can go a lot of different ways as a lady comic. You guys are...
What do you mean, you guys?
You guys?
Oh, come on.
I mean, it's like, we also get to talk about crying. Like, we have a lot of range in emotions that we're allowed to feel that y'all aren't necessarily, like, typically supposed to feel,
Interesting.
So
yeah.
it's like, I get why men are sometimes so angry, because it's like the one emotion, or so disgusting, because they're allowed to be horny and they're allowed to be mad,
It's like you're supposed to.
You're supposed to.
I feel like us men are objectified. We're just these giant testosterone-filled anger machines.
Yeah, and if you're not, then you're not a man, which is like, the worst thing that could happen to a dude, I guess.
And that's something you could, as a guy, you could joke about a little bit.
Yeah.
But if half my jokes are about me crying into Ben and Jerry's, which happens,
Yeah.
then people
Yeah.
are going to forget this guy.
Yeah, I mean, you'll hear men talking about their childhood and how like they felt embarrassed because I forget who, but somebody has a really good joke about how embarrassing it was to like cats more than dogs when they were a little kid. Like because it wasn't manly.
Because you can't do that as a guy.
Yeah, you guys can't do a lot of stuff.
Exactly it.
That's why you're always trying to put it on us too. You're like, we're not allowed to, so you can't vote.
You can't vote. So from a comedic standpoint, maybe we're looking at this the wrong way, because you always hear, a female comedian, it's so much harder, it's so much worse. It almost sounds like you've got pluses.
There are definitely benefits, for sure.
They've been tricking us.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many fewer of us that it's like if anyone is even remotely conscious of diversifying their lineup, there's like 3 spots, and even if they're like, we need a woman to fill that, you know, and there's only so many of us, and it's like, you know, I probably get booked more than some dude comics that are at my level just because I'm more of a novelty. You know what I mean?
Is that okay with you?
Sure. I
Sure.
mean,
There wasn't a moment's hesitation. Like, yeah, of course. If you could describe where you're at in your comedy career right
Yeah.
now, because on social media, it looks like you're playing to big crowds and you're going, you're everywhere.
that's good. Then it's working.
It's working. What's your secret? How do you get people to watch you?
Oh, great question. I guess in that, yeah, a lot of people are like, it's so hard, there's so much competition, blah, blah, blah. I guess I would just say that, like, nobody has your story. Even if there's 5 guys that look like you, nobody else has your story, you know?
Right.
And your weird thoughts. You know, I would, like, just lean into what makes you unique, even if, you know, and that, like, I guess too, and one thing that's weird about it in the city is there's oftentimes like there is a competitive feeling. I imagine in both New York and LA, even probably more so. I don't know, but like I just try to remember that the stage is big. There's so many shows every single night that are gonna need you on eventually. Like there's a stage big enough for all of us. Like, and we're all gonna peak at different levels in this whole game. And it's like I just feel really confident in that this is like my destiny and this is why I'm on the planet. So it's like I'm gonna be like
awesome.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, but it's like I recently realized that I like need to be patient with it too. Like I want to do arenas. If somebody gave me an arena tomorrow, I wouldn't be ready. So it's like I'm just trying to like get better but it is like, what's the goal? Like you trying to get famous or are you trying to
What is the goal? What is your goal?
Yeah, I'm constantly like reevaluating that because I mean, I think that writing a book is definitely a goal. Like, you know, combining poetry and comedy is a goal. I guess I want to figure it out for my own sake about why I am the way I am. And comedy is a great way to do that, you know? And like sometimes I'll tell jokes or stories that like really I can tell the audience like, they're like, nope, that's a you thing. You know, like, because it's like, is the goal to be relatable or is it the goal to just like share your weird thoughts? I don't know. I think you have to charm them enough initially and then they're like, all right, we'll entertain your weird thoughts, you know?
And I think as you start to develop a bigger name, which you're doing successfully.
Thanks, yeah.
Maybe people get a little bit more open to it if they know your name. It's not
sure.
It's not me showing up at my
yeah.
4th open mic going, let me talk to you about philosophy, right?
Right. That's true. Yeah. I guess that's the thing. You're just trying to convince people that you're funny, you know, over time. Like, people consistently see you do okay. They're like, yeah, okay. You know, you start crushing, like, consistently. Then they're like, she's a real killer, you know, and you've seen... And I'm not like consistently a killer yet. Like I'll have great sets and then I'll have like, it feels like I'm phoning it in sets, you know?
Okay,
and I'm still trying to figure out that.
I don't know if this is just growing pains for myself being a new comedian, those of us who are new comedians.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we don't determine when the jokes come. It's like the muse hits you and it's just, got it.
Sure, yeah.
If you sit down and force yourself to write, can you?
I hadn't for a really long time. Like a lot of my jokes were just like on scraps of paper, very fleeting, you know, 1 word, 2 word, didn't make any sense. But I do know that like if I am making an effort to just sit down and be like, this is going to be garbage, I don't know what, it could just be like stream of consciousness thoughts that I'm writing out, knowing full well that there's no jokes in there.
Yeah.
It's just, but I do notice that it starts to just flow out more easily at other times. You know what I mean? I don't know how many mics. I don't go to enough mics, that's for sure. I think it's awful how long you have to sit and wait. And I feel like it's just so much time. And I know it's necessary. And I do feel like I haven't paid my dues in terms of waiting for mics. And I do feel like I was very blessed in terms of starting to get booked on shows.
Right. Not to bring down the party.
Yeah.
Open mic limbo is kind of hell.
It is. Getting bumped.
I don't mean to look relieved. It is, but
it does make you question your like commitment to why you're doing it, you know? Or it's like also if you get 4 minutes, you're like, how much is performing in front of these people who are looking at their notebook going to help, or how much is me saying this in the mirror to myself alone a bunch of times, or how much is it me going to have life experiences going to help me do this better? You know what I mean?
I'm grateful to live in a place like Chicago that's got open mics everywhere, but at the same time, I don't know if I'm doing it right. I don't know if us new comedians are doing it right. How do you know that you're doing it right?
I think that, I mean, you're not doing it to get laughs. I feel like you're doing it to say it into a microphone for the first time, and it's for you to like get it out at least once, you know? I mean, I feel like it's like the combination of the material you're doing at an open mic, and it's just you getting comfortable being in front of people.
Right.
And I feel like even if you're not doing shocking stuff in an open mic, if you're clearly just having a good time up there, people are generally going to tune in a little bit more.
The more I learn about comedy, the more amorphous I realize it is, because if you're overly confident, they hate you, and if you're not confident, they don't like you, and if you walk out and you're too assertive, they don't like you, but if you just... What is it? What is comedy? Every time you think you get a handle on, maybe I'm starting to understand it. It just drips through your fingers. And
but I think that's because you're giving a lot of power to the audience, you know, in terms of you're trying to manage what you think their expectations of you is or are. And like, they don't really want to have any expectations of you. They want you to just tell them what to think about you. You know what I mean?
Well,
anyways. This has been great.
This has been fantastic. Again, I've seen your show several times. You're hilarious.
Thank you.
I cannot wait.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
So that being said, let's pack up and get out there.
Let's do it. Thanks for having us, Surge Coffee on Montrose. Oh, good stuff.
Right in the heart of the blues capital of the world is the House of Blues, which is exactly what it sounds like. A testament to what Chicago does best, which also includes stand-up comedy. But this was no ordinary show. Once this guy decides to let you through, you take an elevator to a secret bar, and then you go down the stairs to a secret VIP theater. With a lineup of guy comedians on either side, Paige Blair took to the stage to score a point for up-and-coming comedians everywhere.
Our first comedian runs a great show called Underline Comedy. She's very funny. Give it up. Come on now. Start clapping now. Come on now. Paige Blair.
House of Blues, how are we feeling? That's great. You guys partying tonight? Yeah. Lit on a Tuesday? That's good. They're going hard on some apps. Proud of you guys. That's good. I just recently got off a 6-week sober streak. Had to do it. I realized I was in a little bit of trouble because I was buying like all my groceries at 7-Eleven. Okay? Just on like a purely lunchable diet, and I needed to take a little break. I do miss Drunk Paige. She bought great snacks, you know? She was really good at that. I did miss getting fucked up, too. I don't know, it's a fun thing to do. Thought of something, you're like, yeah, it is. Hell yeah. Love getting fucked up. Missed it a lot, so I just had to think of, like, other ways to do it, you know? I just was, like, shotgunning LaCroix. Just, like, swiveling around in my office chair until I got so dizzy I couldn't stand up. And I'm like holding my breath for long periods of time. It was fun. It was fun, but I'm back. This other trick I learned, you know, I was like, okay, maybe if I try drinking water out of a wine glass, it'll like do the, you know, placebo effect. And I just ended up drinking way more water than I intended to. So I recommend trying it. That's good. I'm back. I'm drinking like cautiously though, so I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea. I'm definitely not going to be having sex with any of you. Okay? Except for maybe you. But that's because like you look a little bit like me, and I have just always wanted to have sex with myself. You know what I mean? And luckily I have 2 hands for that. Right? Someone who's like, Jesus. Masturbation is a normal thing, friends. Okay. Right? And if I'm ever just like, ooh, super duper missing a man, I just go ahead and use my left hand. Okay, because it's weak. And ineffective, you know? I have like no idea what the fuck it's doing. Love you guys, you're fun. You guys really rule. You're ruling so far as an audience. I appreciate that. I don't know, people comment on how I look a lot. Maybe it's because I wear clothes like this. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm a woman and they're just like, oh, look at that. You have a face. We should talk about it, you know? Somebody recently was like, you look like a young Fran Drescher. I was like, oh my god! I was really going for more of like a Kelly Kapowski look, you know? I look like Kelly Kapowski, but if her and Screech had just gone ahead and ditched school one day and tried acid. Not an acid crowd, good to know. You guys try it, it's a brave thing to do, right? The Uber driver asked me recently if I was Spanish. I was like, no, sir, I'm actually the other hue of colonizer. I am the white kind. I know I'm a white lady because when I get high, I just lay on the floor and like fantasize about my to-do list. Like spiral out, not being certain if I sent a thank you note or not. My mom wants to get a DNA test done. I'm sure you guys have heard of this, right? And I was like, Linda, save your $120. I can already tell you. Is your mom's name Linda? Yeah. Me too. Yeah. I was like, Linda, save your money. I can already tell you we're 3 parts white and 1 part racist grandpa. Make some noise if you have a racist grandpa. Woo! Last week somebody was like, well, not anymore. That's how we're going to solve racism, everyone. I studied poetry in college. They like that. I studied poetry in college. I wanted to be a poetry professor. Then I graduated and I realized there's like no track such as that thing. I was looking for a job, just staring at the word poetry for hours and hours. And then I realized, holy shit, all this time, you guys, it's just been hiding in the word poverty. I never noticed. One bit. I did get a job, though, trolling white supremacists online. Okay, mostly just as a way to get closer to my dad. He has never been prouder. I did learn something interesting, though. Do you guys know the most commonly used emoji in neo-Nazi chat groups? Any guesses? Nobody wants to say anything because then they're like, there's the white supremacist. Looking at you, son of Linda. I'm just joking. Right. No, okay, so for a little while it was Pepe the Frog, then they graduated, they were using the A-OK finger, and now you guys are not going to believe they're using the white glass of milk emoji to represent white power. Doesn't really make any sense to me because, like, of all the farm animals, I've always considered cows to be biracial. Never seen an all-white cow in my entire life. I've seen an all-brown cow, right? Somebody was like, well, maybe it's goat's milk. I was like, aren't goats supposed to be like the spirit animal of Satan? I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Can I talk about sex a little bit? Are you guys gonna judge me? Talk about it, okay. That's fun. I did go through like a little sexist period of time, a couple of years, where the only form of intercourse I was having was just cleaning my ear out with a Q-tip. It was super satisfying. And I'll be honest with you guys, the only form of double penetration I'd ever consider is just cleaning them both out at the same time. That one was like, you're not supposed to put Q-tips in your ears. That's fine. Then I got back into the dating game. I dated this guy who was kind of yucky for a little bit of period of time. He was really into sending dick pics. What's that about, guys? You know what this is, right? No? Talk to your parents about this, okay? Right? It's just where a gentleman just shoots off a little photo of his wiener. That's all ladies want. That's what we want, right? I don't know, I'd never gotten one before him, so I wasn't really sure what to say. I was just like, that was so brave of you. Can't believe you did that. Right? I don't know, gentlemen, what the correct answer is. I'm not sure, but what the weird, this guy, do you know? Do you know the, what do you want us to say? Don't do it. He's like, I have never said that. No, what was weirdest about it though is they weren't like beautiful shots. He would just get like blackout drunk and like go to the urinal and just like stick down like that, you know? Not hard, urine in the shot. I was like, I don't know what to say. It looks like you might be dehydrated. I really hope you take an Uber home, you know? I don't know, gentlemen, it just like doesn't physically do anything for me to see a picture of your wiener. It's like, text me a photo of you volunteering to feed the homeless. Okay, like that's what gives me a boner. Like, look a little homeless yourself in the photo. Oh wait, you are homeless? Like, why didn't you just say so? Let's party, you know? That's good. I did start like a full-fledged real relationship recently. Please give it up for that. Thank you so much. He recently was like, Paige, I want you to open up to me about what you really, really want. And I was like, I don't know if I can, I'm shy. You know, and he's like, no, really, I can take it. And I'm like, it's so freaky. Okay? He was like, please. I was like, okay, I want you to, I want you to text me every day, good morning. No? Like, I want to go out to dinner and talk about my goals, right? No. You guys wanted something really freaky. You're like, say anal! Alright, I've been Paige Blair. You guys have been amazing. Give it up for your host, Chris Tranny.
Paige Blair is willing to put herself out there in a male-dominated industry. She defines the norm. She doesn't succumb to it. So the question is, when's your show? If you're a stand-up comedian and are willing to share your journey, give us a shout. Just email billyboy@openmicturnpike.com. My girly little car gets great gas mileage, so we'll come see it. Thanks to Paige for fitting us into a busy show schedule. A big thanks to Serge on Montrose. 27 cups of coffee later and it's still great! A huge thanks to the House of Blues for letting us crash the VIP show. And most of all, thanks to you. Thanks for coming back. I'm Billy Boy from Chicago, Illinois, and this is the Open Mic Turnpike.